Thanks for doing this, mate.
No worries.
I really appreciate it. Now, you're a nervous driver, you said.
No, I love driving, but...
You're a nervous passenger.
You're a nervous passenger. I'd rather be in the driver's seat.
But how does that go with when you've been driven around all the time?
I drive myself.
Do you really?
I drove myself here. Yeah, it's a beautiful car, nice leg room, and
it is.
Sure don't mind.
Are you going to trust me driving it?
Yeah. How's your?
Are you judgmental?
I should have checked your driving record out before.
It's one of these ones. Can you do stuff like that?
No.
You can't sort of ask say today you were a little bit worried about my driving.
Yeah.
Could you ring someone up?
Ring Darren Hine up and say, look,
listen,
Dave
Darren.
Moon, how does he go? Has he got form? No, I can't. I'm not allowed to do that, and rightly so.
Have you ever been tempted?
No.
Did you always want to be in politics?
No, I didn't. Honestly, didn't. People assumed I would, and I think it's in the blood a bit because I grew up in a family with my dad, my uncle, and even my grandfather.
Well, that's what I wondered about. Like, you've got three family members when you were growing up who are all in politics.
Yeah. So it sort of normalises it. You know, people think that politicians are some sort of alien species. You know, I guess growing up in
your dad was a bit of an alien species.
He's certainly one out of the box.
Your dad, he's an unusual man.
Yeah.
What was it like being his son?
Challenging, because he was so, and even now, he's sadly no longer with us, but people still say, oh, you're not as exciting and as flamboyant as your dad, you're far more boring than he is. He was great when we worked together. We never really trod on each other's toes. I had to get him to do a few things when I was leader.
That must have been weird. How weird was that?
Well, I had to make him apologise once for a fairly colourful exchange with former Premier Paul Lennon. And he'd said the same sort of things when Reen Hitting was leader. And so the media said to me, well, surely his son's going to make him apologise now, because he did then, so we were left with no choice.
I read somewhere a story about you on an election night, and your dad had told you that no matter who tried to get hold of you, you had to say no.
Yes.
What happened there?
Yeah, so on election day, or the day after, win, lose or draw, Dad would hold an open house and we'd get all sorts of people in there. But Dad used to say to my sisters and I, if you guys can help out, that'd be great. Girls might help pass the food round. Will, you're in charge of the phone. And he'd say, look, there are going to be lots of calls. Just take a message, get their name and number and promise that I'll call back. So the phone would ring and ring and ring, and there's a pad full of names. I got a call from a fellow, this beautifully clipped accent, asking if he could speak with my father. I said, well, I'm sorry, I'm not able to put him on just yet. He'll get back to you. Can I take your phone, name and number? He said, look, I really think I need you to speak to your father. It's quite important.
He didn't say who he was?
Well, he did eventually. He told me his name was Malcolm Fraser. But I probably didn't appreciate that it was the Prime Minister ringing my dad to see if he wanted to be a minister in his cabinet.
People are so strange about politicians, aren't they? You must yes, you've had nice experiences,
yes,
but people have very little respect for politicians in some ways.
I think people do see us literally as an alien species, and I'll go and do the shopping. I'll go and, well, possibly.
It's the odd one I've met.
You have to be a little different. They say it's a business for the mad, the sad, and the lonely, I think, but... Look, I'll go to the supermarket. Yeah, and people often double take, and I've had people say to me, I'm surprised you've got time to do this. And I said, well, I've got to
here we go.
I've got to eat. I have to eat. I've got to cook dinner for Nikki. And
so do you cook, do you?
Yeah, I do most of the cooking for Nikki and I, and it's lovely.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's sort of therapy. You get home and... See,
there's something what do you cook?
Everything. I give everything a go.
So,
but last night
MasterChef? MasterChef?
No, and I don't think so. The pressure would be a little too intense. I think I'd crack. I'm a classic chef, cranky, temperamental. Stuff gets broken occasionally if it doesn't quite go right.
If you had to do MasterChef with one politician from your party, who would it be?
Malcolm Turnbull.
Can he cook?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I know.
Have you had dinner at Malcolm's place?
Not dinner. I've had a lovely afternoon tea there.
And what, Malcolm put the apron on?
He goes very well in the kitchen.
The high point of your footy career, I want to hear about it.
So
who did you play for?
My main playing careers with the Mighty Lions, the Hutchins Old Boys Football Club in the Old Scholars.
Position?
Full forward. I was a backman before I did my knee. 9. I never kicked 10.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I never kicked 9 goals.
I'm a left-handed dominant person, but I've learned to play guitar right-handed, kick footballs right-footed, do all sorts of things because all my mates were kicking with their right foot, so I learned, and as a result I look like I have no idea what I'm doing, but my teammates will confirm deadly accurate as long as it was within 40 metres. The problem we've got in this game is that often you've got a camera crew following you, and that's part of the...
I don't know if you know, but that's happening right now.
I hadn't noticed.
Oh, sorry, it's something I forgot to tell you, Will.
Yeah.
There's cameras here.
I better watch what I say.
Beautiful part of Hobart.
Isn't it?
Arthur Circus. I'm just going to do
Battery
it.
Point.
I'm going to take the Audi. I'm going to take the Audi for one lap.
Just
Will.
be careful and...
Not to hit a rock.
Nicky and I lived here. Our first house in Battery Point, on Hampton Road, a little tiny little flat. Yeah, love Battery Point. Now we were married in St George's Church, just over there.
Yeah, beautiful. So I feel like I'm going down memory lane.
Yes.
I'm going to go down memory lane in a different area in a minute.
No,
Didn't I read though somewhere where you had supposedly told a primary school teacher that you wanted to be Prime Minister?
Yeah.
In which case you failed.
Well,
the only Premier.
This ain't over yet.
Yeah.
Who says?
Have you told Malcolm you have aspirations?
I haven't ruled it out.
Now, I've got a special moment for you. Probably a lot of people don't know this about you. Do you want to open the glove box? Take them out.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Does this take you back?
It does. Yeah, it's a very familiar colour.
You were the lead singer of a punk rock band. People would probably find... Was it punk rock?
No, it's often claimed we were punk. We weren't. We were more alternative, indie kind of music.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, independent.
Who were your idols? Who were your musical...
bands like the Stone Roses or the Pixies.
The Pixies?
Yeah, some sort of underground, less
Do you want to put your...
famous Australian bands.
I'll
the
put
Fish,
mine on.
John West Reject, a great Tasmanian band. We're a guitar, early REM.
What was your... What was your instrument?
Guitar and lead singer.
So,
and I did.
Can you still remember? Did you write songs?
Yeah.
So, what was your favourite song that you ever wrote?
I think my most successful, in inverted commas, song was called "The Trouble Song," and it was a song of despair and a relationship and a true story where I'd sadly. My then girlfriend moved on to greener pastures.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It was a bitter song about how better off I would be without her, and it's a sad insight into the soul of a troubled teenager. But
come on, can you give it a go?
I'll try and think of some of the less offensive lyrics. They weren't.
Did you write? Will Hodgman wrote offensive lyrics?
Well, they weren't swear words in this particular tune. It was more just a sharp rebuke to a young lady who I thought
she got it wrong, didn't she?
Missing.
Let's be honest, she got it wrong.
A golden opportunity to spend more time with me.
She could have been the first lady.
Yeah.
Because you actually had pink hair in the band, is that right?
Well, yeah, and we just dress up like,
it was
in any
glam rock.
way that sort of tried to distract from the fact that we weren't very good at music. We were very colourful.
So
one day we were playing a gig down at the Mayfair Tavern. I think it would have been back in the day when Gary Baker was the publican down there, and he kindly let us in on a Sunday afternoon. And there was a fella down there who Dad knew very well from old legal and racing circles. And he rang Dad up and said, "I've just seen your son down at the Mayfair Tavern with bright pink hair." And Dad, thinking that his mate had just had one too many Cascade Blues, said, "Oh, sure you have, sure." Not believing a word of it, but there we were, and there I was, hot pink hair, doing our thing.
Will Hodgman, that was fantastic, mate.
Thanks, Dave.
I couldn't have enjoyed it more.
That was brilliant.
I really enjoyed it.
Same time next week?
Yeah, same time next week. You know what this means? You're going to have to come in and sing a song for us on the show.
I'll bring my guitar in.
I'd love you to do that. Thanks, mate.
I'll write a song about you and Kylie.
Oh, let's do it.